In these problems, we have fractions with radicals in the denominator. And we don't like that. We always try to get radical signs out of the denominator. And we're going to do that in this process called rationalizing the denominator. It relies on the difference of squares. So, for example, you remember a squared minus b squared is the same thing as a plus b times a minus b. These two chunks are called conjugates. And what we're going to do is look at the denominator and try to figure out what's the conjugate to that. So if we have 2 times the square root of x plus y, its conjugate is just going to be 2 times the square root of x minus y. And if I multiply it by the conjugate, I would get this a squared minus b squared. So the answer would be, well, this chunk squared, that would be 4x minus y. And we've got our radical signs out of the denominator. Of course, I can't just multiply it by the bottom. I have to multiply it by the top too, and then what we're doing really is multiplying the fraction by 1. Let me show you how that works in this case. So we have 2 over 2 times the square root of x plus square root of y. We're going to multiply that by a fraction that's equivalent to 1. So we're really not changing the value of this. We're just multiplying by 1. But this fraction we choose is the conjugate of the denominator over that same quantity. And that conjugate is 2 times the square root of x minus square root of y, just changing the sign in between. Top multiplied by the same thing. And so the bottom is going to become a squared minus b squared. So that's pretty easy. That's 4x minus y. The top, well, we just have to multiply through. 2 times the first quantity, 2 times the square root of x is 4 square root of x. And 2 times negative square root of y is minus 2 square root of y. And that is the answer to that one. Let's try one more. All right, here we have square root of x over square root of x minus 7. The conjugate is square root of x plus square root of 7. So we're going to multiply by square root of x plus square root of 7. That's the same thing on the top, so we're really multiplying by 1. On the bottom, we get a squared minus b squared, so that's x minus 7. And on the top, we get square root of x times square root of x, first term. Well, that's just square root of x squared, or plain old x. And then square root of x times square root of 7. So that would be plus square root of 7x. And that's how you rationalize the denominator.